friends, it's Amanda here from Fun Hands-On Learning, and today I'm going to show you the Thanksgiving math and literacy activities that I have planned for this week. And what I do is I keep them all in this bin. Let's see if I can put it back here farther for you. I keep them all in this like Sterilite bin, and I keep my fall and Thanksgiving activities in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this up and show you how I keep them. I have them all labeled by the activity, and if you download these activities you'll get the labels as well. So I've labeled them all. I made these last year and we did some of them last year, but I'm pulling them out to do this year because some of my kids did not do them last year. I did them with certain children and not with others. So I'm pulling them all out to do them again, and we're going to work on these and just have a little bit of fun as far as making things kind of into themes. So obviously our theme right now, we did the fall activities, so we're doing the Thanksgiving ones, and then after Thanksgiving, come December, I will take out the Christmas activities. So I will leave links below to all these activities that I show you today. So let's get into it and I'll show you really quick what we're going to do. So this first activity is working on beginning sounds. And as you can see, there's cards here with different short vowel words, and the beginning sound is missing, and it has the pilgrims on there so that we are keeping with our theme. And then there's just a picture and then the word. So what I will have the kiddos do is use these with magnetic letters. So let me move things around here. All right, so actually you can use any kind of letters you have. I will probably use the magnetic letters, and if you put these on a cookie sheet, then the magnetic letters will stick and it makes it even more fun. So, and if you don't have magnetic letters, these kind of cards you can use with a dry erase marker if you laminate them like I did. So they can just write the letter if you want, or lastly, you could just print them out black and white and use it more like as a worksheet where they have to fill it in. So, but I like to make my things hands-on, as you know, because this is fun hands-on learning. And so, basically, this is all they do. So they take a card, look at the picture, what is the beginning sound for pig, and then they're gonna find their magnetic letter, and they're gonna put it on. I think that's a capital, so let's see if I can find a lowercase. There we go. And they're gonna put it on their card, and they'll just kind of keep going. So here I have a red crayon, red, and so going to find my lowercase r. And this is another good way for them to learn to discriminate between capital and lowercase, because unless it's a name or a proper noun kind of thing, they should be using the lowercase letters. So sometimes the kids will go and they'll grab the uppercase one and they'll put it on, and then I'll remind them that this word, we wouldn't capitalize it because it's not the name of a person or a specific place, and it's not starting a sentence. So then they would have to go and find their lowercase letter and put it on. So that's just another thing, because if you look here in my magnetic letters, I have the capitals and the lowercase letters together. So like here's the D's, and I have capitals and lowercase letters in there. So they have to be able to discriminate between which one they're going to use. And sometimes I have to remind them that we're going to use the lowercase for most of them, unless it's a name, and I don't think I have any names in here or anything. So that's what they're going to do with these cards. Let's go on to the next activity. This next activity is a math activity, and it is working on discrimination between big, small, same, different, that kind of thing. So there's two different types of strips, and you can see they're all Thanksgiving type pictures. I have, pies and turkeys and pumpkins and things like that. So there's two different types. One type, they are going to choose a strip and cover the two pictures that are exactly the same. And the other type, they are going to cover the one that is different. So this strip here, you can see that they're going to try to find the one that is different. I see one that is different. So you can use manipulatives to cover up your answer. And I just have these fall foam, they're not really foam stickers because they don't have anything sticky on them. They're just like foam pieces. And we've been using these as our little manipulatives, and I can tell my kids have been playing with them because there's little pieces of other things in here. But anyway, yeah, so these are just little foam pieces that we've been using since the beginning of fall to mark our answers. You can use anything you have though. You know, toys, snap cubes. What do we have? We have like, if you watch any of my other videos, you'll see we have just a plethora of little manipulatives that we use to cover up our answers. So what I would do then is the kids would take one of these pieces and they would cover up the one that is different. And the same goes for this one here. They're going to cover up the one that is different. They're discriminating between the pieces. Now this is a very important skill for math because they build on this skill to be able to discriminate with numbers, greater and less than, fractions, things like that. So this is a good foundational skill, like a preschool type skill. So these ones, they would find the one that is different. Here, these are all finding the one that is different. And then let me show you the one that, okay, so then for like this card, you would want to separate, mine aren't separated right now, but you would want to separate them into the two different types so that the kids don't get mixed up. But then this one, they're going to look and cover up the two that are exactly the same. And so I'm looking here and I'm going to use my leaves and I'm going to cover up this turkey and this turkey because they are exactly the same. So you get the idea, and then they can just kind of go through all of their little strips here. Another thing you could use on these is the clothespins. So if you have any of the clothespins, then they could just clip it onto the correct answer instead of using manipulatives. And lastly, if you laminate them, you know, you could of course use your marker and then just circle the one. So here they would circle the one that's different. Here they need to find the two that are exactly the same. And they would just circle them. And of course you can erase it since it's dry erase. Alright, let's go on to the next activity. This activity I'm excited to use because it is just basic counting and number sense to the number 10. So there is this mat here that looks like this, and then there are cards with turkeys, and the turkeys have a different number of feathers. And so what the kids are going to do is they are going to, well actually the teacher is going to make sure that the cards are upside down, okay, and then the kids are going to just take one card, they're going to flip it over, because this is called flip, count, and cover. They're going to flip it over and they're going to count the amount of feathers on the turkey. So this has 2 feathers. Then they're going to use their manipulatives to find the number 2 and cover it up. And they're just going to keep going until they've covered up their entire mat. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they're going to use a manipulative here and cover up the number 5, and so on. So it's just practicing counting and matching the numeral, which are these, to the amount, which is on the card. Okay, this one is called Dress a Turkey, and this is a literacy activity, and this one's really cute. It works on short vowel words, and it has some turkeys here. I can show you. Okay, and it has short A, short E, short I, short O, and short U. Look at our short U turkey has a mustache. The kids love that. Okay, so what you would do is the kids would, I would probably give them 2. So I would have them pick 2, and maybe I'm going to pick E and I because those 2 sounds for some reason are the trickiest for kiddos to discriminate between, the sound and the I sound. I like to tell the kids that with the sound, your chin should be going down, and then with the I sound, you should be kind of almost smiling like well, not really smiling, but like something icky. So you'd be like icky, and your face would be kind of making that icky face. So, all right, I hope that helps because a lot of times kids have trouble. All right, so then what they would do is they're going to look through their pieces here. These are the clothes for the turkeys, and they're going to dress their turkey according to the pieces. So they have to be able to read the word. This says 6. Does it have short I or short E? It has short I, so we're going to put it on our short I. And so what they're going to do is just go through the pieces, and I would have them read the words, place the pieces on their turkeys, and then when they're all done, they need to read them all to you. So as you notice here, I'm putting together my short E turkey and my short I turkey. Hi! I have a little guy over here who wants to be in our video, huh? And they're going to dress their turkey, and then they're going to read all of the words to you and talk about, oh, you okay? And talk about the different sounds. So I have my 2 turkeys dressed, and then the kids would need to do this. In fed, in hen, in net, in pin, in hit, in 6. So I would make them read it like that and say the sounds before they are able to go on. And then, of course, you have some other turkeys that they could go ahead and dress up as well. Okay, we are on to a math activity. This one is called Thanksgraphing instead of Thanksgiving. And you are working on math. You are graphing the pictures. So on each label, it has the directions for the activity. It says choose a picture strip, count how many is represented by each picture, and then use your manipulatives to graph the numbers on the graphing mat. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to do that. We are going to choose a strip. Here's our strip. And there are just, you know, a plethora of them, so the kids can make many graphs if they want. We're going to make this graph. Okay, and we're going to use our manipulatives, and I would probably have the kids use a different picture for each row so that they can kind of see how the graph is made. So what they're going to do is they're going to count. So the turkey has 2 feathers, and so we're going to put 2 manipulatives for the turkey. So I'm going to use these orange or reddish leaves. Okay, how many pies does the pilgrim have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pies. So we're going to, what should we use? Maybe these acorns. Don't have any little pies, but we can use these acorns, and we have to put 6 of them. 1, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 6. And then we're going to count. There are 4 pieces of corn for the pilgrim boy, and I actually do have little pieces of corn that we can use to represent that. And you notice as I'm doing this, it is making a graph, and then when the kids are done, you can ask them graphing questions that get their mind going about how we use data and graphs to represent quantities. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wishbones. Right? Yeah, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. My brain is like going. And I'm just going to use these pumpkins to represent the wishbones. I don't know. Because I don't have any wishbones over here. Okay, so, oh, you can't even see that. Let me move this up. Okay, so now I have my graph made. I used the pictures here to make a graph here. And then you can ask questions like, okay, which one has the most? And they can say the pilgrim girl. Which one has the least? The turkey. Which ones are exactly the same? And then, of course, you've got the boy and the pilgrim boy. And you can also say, how many more does the pilgrim girl have than the pilgrim boy? Well, she has 2 more because these spots are empty. So she, you know, and they can just visually see how a graph can help them use data. And so there you go. That's how they would do that. And then after they've done one of them, they can go ahead and grab another strip and do a different graph. They're all different, so they all have different amounts to make different looking graphs. Okay, friends, we're on to another reading activity. Or, you know, you can call it reading, phonics, literacy. And this one is super fun because you get to put the feathers on the turkey. All right, so these are word families. And word families are when you have words that end the same. So, and also you could say that they rhyme. As far as these ones go, they all rhyme. So we have the ig family, here. So what I did is I used a different short vowel for each family. So I did a short I family, ig, short U family, un, short E family, en, the short O family, ot, and then the short A family, at. So let's take our short A, turkey, and then there are turkey pieces. And if it will if you look at the picture on the feather, if you can make a word, then it will go with that family. So for example, bat. I start with a B, and then I have the picture there, and then I know bat is part of the at family, and hat is part of the at family, and cat, and let's see if I can find some more. They're kind of mixed up. And mat. And where's my other one? These are E's. Sat. Yep. This one also could go for sit. Do I have the it family? Let me see. No, I have the ig family, so I guess it wouldn't. So it goes with this one, sat. So you get the idea. They're just going to keep going until they have found all the at family words and made their turkey. And then when they're all finished, I always like to have the kids read each one, so I know, even though they've discriminated and they've been able to put it together, that I know that they can read it. So they would go along and they would say sat, mat, cat, hat, bat. And you could talk about how they all rhyme as well, because these are word families that rhyme. And then after they've done that one, they could go on to another turkey and do the odd family, and so on. Okay guys, here's a math activity. It's called Measure It. And they're going to take some Thanksgiving pictures, and they have to measure how many snap cubes long each picture is. Isn't that cute? So what they're going to do is, what you need is snap cubes to do this activity. And snap cubes, they're also called Unifix cubes. You can get them really inexpensively, like on Amazon or something like that. And I just got a real cheap set, and they work perfectly fine. All right, so they're going to take a card, and they're going to put their snap cubes together to measure how long it is. So I am going to go ahead and do that right now. So they're going to go from one line to the other line. It looks like I need one more. Okay, so this card is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 snap cubes long. Now one thing you can have them do then, when they're done, is they can write a 5 with their dry erase marker on the card, so you know what their answer is if they're not doing it right with you and you want to know that they did it properly. Or they can just leave this on it, move it off to the side, and do the next one. Okay, so this one looks a lot shorter, so I don't think I'm going to need 5 of them. So you put them together from one line to the other. This roll is 3 snap cubes long. And you can, of course, like I said, you can have them write 3. Or if you really want to get hands-on, you could use number manipulatives and have them put like a number magnet, like find the number 3 magnet and put it on there when they're done. And that's how you would do this. So they just go through and measure. So they're working on measuring each of these Thanksgiving pictures. Okay friends, this one's just counting and covering. Again, you can use any manipulatives you have. I'm going to use my fall ones. And what their kids are going to do, there's just different cards, and this is just counting to 10. You could also make this into an addition activity if you want to make it a little bit more difficult. But what the kids do is they're just going to take a card, like this one here. And the little girl has a number 2, so they're going to cover up all the pictures here that have a 2. I see 2 pumpkins, so that one's going to cover up. This has 3 acorns, so I'm not going to cover it up. This has 4 feathers, so I'm not going to cover it up, but this one has 2, so I am going to cover that one up. So there you go. That card would be finished, and they could go on to the next one. They could also maybe use their dry erase marker to circle their answers if they wanted to. So yeah, so all they're going to do is go through and mark them. Now, the way to make it into addition is, okay, so they've done that card. Now they're going to do this card. And we have 3. We're going to find all of the ones that have a 3 on it and cover them up. So I see 3 pumpkins. I see 3 feathers. And that is it. This has 2 and this has 1, so I'm not going to cover them up. All right, so now after they've done that and they've practiced just counting, you could say, okay, now we're going to change this into an addition problem. And what we're going to do is we're going to put dots on the end of each of our numbers. This is called touch point math, by the way. If you haven't seen my touch point math video, I will leave a link below to that video. But what they would do is they would use touch points, and they're going to add 2 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 plus 3 equals 5. And they could go ahead and write that problem out. You can use manipulatives to make the problem. You guys have probably seen that in some of my other videos. I don't have my number manipulatives out right now, but they could put a magnet number 2 plus magnet number 3 equals, and then put the magnet number 5. So just another way to kind of make it harder. If you have students that this would be too easy for, you can make it into addition as well. Okay guys, this activity was really fun last year, so I know they're going to enjoy it again this year. And you can see we didn't quite erase it all. I'll have to get some water and erase that because that's been sitting there since last year. This is vowel sound and write. So they're going to flip over a card, say the beginning sound, and then use the dry erase marker to trace it. Okay, so these are all pictures that begin with a vowel, as you can see there. Okay, so they're going to, for example, flip over a card. This one has an ostrich. Ostrich begins with O. Then they're going to take their dry erase marker and trace an O. They go on. We have an iguana. So they're going to trace an I. All right. We have an umbrella. So they're going to find a U on their mat, and they're going to go ahead and trace the U. You get the idea. They're going to keep on going until they've traced all of the vowels on their mat, and they've gone through all of their cards. All right, friends, we're getting to the end. This one is called Thanksgivabet. So this is a great activity if you're working on beginning sounds of the alphabet. And there's a different card for each letter of the alphabet. And the kids are going to find the ones that match. So they're going to take a card, and I'm just going to take this card, for example. Doesn't matter. And then they're going to cover up the pictures that begin with that alphabet letter. So we have the letter R, so we're going to cover up rhinoceros, and we're going to go ahead and cover up rocket. This is an iguana. That does not start with an R, so we wouldn't cover that up. And they can just continue on until they've done all of their alphabet cards and practice all of their alphabet letters. Isn't that fun? All right, for this activity, you need 3 containers of dough. Play-Doh, and you're going to open them up, and then, wait, do you need 2 or 3? Yeah, you need 3. Okay, so you're going to open them up, and then you're going to have 3 different sticks. So this one says letters, words, sentences. So what this activity is working on, let me move this up here, is discriminating between what is a letter, what is a word, and what is a sentence. This is a basic grammar literacy type skill that the kids need to know. Now the reason I said you need Play-Doh is because what you do is you put the cards into Play-Doh like this. I used craft sticks on each card. I laminated my cards, and then I put them on craft sticks, and I just used tape to keep them on the craft stick. You can see there's a piece of tape on there. And that seems to work fine, unless you have kids that are just really rough with things. By the time they're, 4 or 5, they seem to be okay with not ripping things apart. So, at least these have lasted, the last couple of years anyway. Or the last 2 years. Last year and this year. All right, so then you have cards. Okay, so we have our Native Americans on the letters, we have our Pilgrims on the words, and we have our turkey on sentences. And the kids are going to take the cards and then they're just going to separate them by what they are. So this says, my cat naps. They read it. That's a sentence. So I'm going to put it by my, can you see that? Let me scoot you back. Whoop. All right, so I'm going to put it by my sentences. This says the word sun. So that's a word. It goes here. Top. That's a word. It goes here. And I have A or A. That's a letter. It goes here. Eat the pie. That goes here. So you get the idea. They're just going to go through their cards and separate them. Z, that is a letter. And then you can talk about G, that's a letter. How you take letters, you put them together, they make words, and then you take the words and put them together and they make full sentences. And sentences are complete thoughts. So you have letters that make a sound, put the sounds together to make a word, put the words together to make a thought or a sentence. And so that's what they're going to do. They're just going to go through, and if you can see these, they're going to separate all of the different cards that you see here. And they've all got Thanksgiving pictures and themes. Okay, we're on to the last activity that we're going to do this week. And it is a math activity. And the kids are going to practice one more and one less. So great, you know, one more than the number, one less than the number. There is a mat like this. This one says cover one less. Or they can do the mat like this, which says cover one more. So with kids that are just starting out learning more or less, I would start with the more, so because they're counting up versus counting backwards, which will be the less. And then the other part of this is the spinner. So they get a turkey spinner. And I purchased these little spinners from Amazon, real cheap in like a little pack of them. But if you don't have, if you can't, you know, do that, or you don't have spinners, then you can just use a paper clip and a pencil. Hold the pencil and then flick the paper clip and it will work just as well as a spinner. So what the kiddos are going to do is spin the spinner, and whatever it lands on, they're going to count how many pies. So this landed on 3 pies. So now they have to cover up one more than 3. Well, what number comes after 3? There's a number line here if they need help. So they find the 3 and they go one more, and that would be 4. And then what they do is they use their manipulatives and they go ahead and cover it up. And then they spin again. And they're going to keep on spinning and covering up till they've covered up their whole mat. And then once the kids get good at counting on or counting more, then you can practice counting less and going backwards. And having the number line here for going backwards is really helpful if the kids are not proficient at counting backwards yet. So yeah, so this is really fun, and they just use their spinner, spin it, and they're able to cover up one more or one less. I think this is just a really fun one. We did this one last year, and we're going to do it again this year with my younger son. So I hope that this was helpful for you, and these activities are fun for you. I know some of you already own these activities. You got them last year, and I hope you have been enjoying them. I have different activities for every season of the year. You can get all of them in a big bundle, and you kind of save money. Otherwise, you can purchase each one separately. And for example, this is the Thanksgiving set that I showed in this video. And then in December, I will show you the Christmas set, because we'll be doing those in December. And that'll be a lot of fun. Sorry guys, I haven't been getting a ton of videos out for you. It has just been, like I told you, we are preparing for the new baby. We're having our 7th son in December, and we are preparing our house. We redid a lot of things in our house. We finally just got our floors, our new floors finished this week. So I was spending a lot of time reorganizing all of our stuff, putting everything, you know, like furniture and everything. Well, my husband helped put furniture back where it goes, but I was helping reorganize everything and put it back where it goes. And it's just been, I'm super excited about everything coming together, but I haven't been able to dedicate a ton of time to you guys and to YouTube. I love doing my YouTube videos, and so I'm sorry for that. But I will say that I have still been working on the activities, And so I have been adding to my Phonics for Reading program is seriously almost complete. I have one little activity to add, or one little resource to add to it, and then that entire curriculum is done. I hope you guys have been enjoying that curriculum. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a video, I have a couple videos explaining my Phonics for Reading curriculum that you can check out if you look in my video history. And also, I'll leave a link to my store, and you can look at it there, and there's lots of pictures and information about it there. So that is almost complete. Like I said, I have literally one thing to add to it, and I'm almost done with that. And so that curriculum will probably be complete this week. And it has been a labor of love writing that curriculum. I have had so much fun with it, and so many people have told me how much their students have benefited from it. My own children have really benefited from it. We're still using it. We're going to continue to use it for years to come, and so I'm loving that. And also my preschool curriculum, I am continuing to work on that. I'm not getting it done as fast as I would like, but as fast as I can. I want to get my Phonics Reading curriculum, that last thing, added to it, so it is done, and all I have to focus on is my preschool curriculum. Working on that, and I always am adding new things to my kindergarten grade 1 bundle and my preschool bundle. I just added what did I add? Oh yeah, I added a phonics activity to my kindergarten grade 1 bundle, which I would like to show you guys, because we're going to use that coming up here in the next week or two as well. If I get time to videotape a video on that, I will. Excuse me. If I don't, I don't. And I will say the videos are going to be slower once I have the baby too. It'll probably take a few weeks off of doing videos, but then I will get right back into it, I promise, as soon as things slow down. But I do want to take the time to enjoy that newborn stage with my little one. But I hope, anyways, this was helpful for you, and I hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. Have a great, wonderful, blessed Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.